from the tattered scrolls of Arjun, scribe of the dreaming south. Beneath the pale hush of dawn, as the star forge thundered through the ether shroud's emerald lattice, Vikara the Wayfarer gazed beyond the crimson wards of the carriage, his reflection braided with mist on the scrying glass. The rice paddy realms of Enkakad unfurled in endless jade, their flooded veins shimmering beneath the oracle's first light, while distant hills slumbered like wise titans at the world's edge. Markery Shadow Step, ever the spirited scout, grinned from the threshold, clutching the iron rail as if daring the wind itself. Behold, Wayfarer, the land sings its welcome. No shadow walks these fields but our own, and the air taste of unspent omens. At his side, Mankarni of the harmonious veil pressed his palm to the runes carved along the carriage's frame, intoning a shield song to bind the fellowship's fate. May brotherhood hold true through the silent morn, and may no soul journey alone, however far the tracks divide. Their voices, woven into the hush, mingled with the spirit whispers riding the wind. Subtle blessings, gentle jests, omens both bright and sly from the watchers beyond the veil, whose riddles and laughter flickered through the etheric scriptorium. Thus, the first hour of the astral sojourn began, in stillness, in song, and in the promise that every mile carried the pulse of legend, yet unwritten, from the saffron platform of the verdant rails, as the Starforger's heart pulsed in scarlet and gold. Vikara the Wayfarer stepped onto the threshold of Thrissur's liminal crossing, greeted by the chorus of spirits and the clangor of the astral engines. At his side, Mankani of the harmonious veil, garbed in the ceremonial vestments of maroon and crowned with a straw circlet, met the gaze of fate with solemn calm, his eyes steady as the sun overhead. Jean Baptin, the inquiring luminar, clad in the yellow of dawn's promise, laughed softly and turned to the crowds, his words weaving like river song. See, brother, how the air shimmers with future's breath. Each soul here is a rune in the grand pattern, and every step is a story yet to be scribed. Around them, the market of mortal bustle thrummed, the clamor of porters, the emerald spill of palm shade, and 1,000 whispered invocations carried by wind and watcher alike. Let us not tarry, Vikara, Mankani spoke, voice warm as summer rain. For the red serpent of the rails bears secrets for those swift of foot and stout of heart. The seers beyond the veil send omens, packed carriages, yes, but also kindly faces and open doors. As the company pressed forward through the shifting tapestry of color and heat, Nuland's gentle presence flickered at their backs, unseen but steady, and Henrik the goodly leech passed small vials of dew to weary travelers. Thus, beneath the sunlit gaze of the oracle's veil, the fellowship's oath was renewed upon the living stone of the platform, each companion a beacon against the gathering haze, each moment a heartbeat in the legend unfolding. From the saffron door of the Star Forge, Vikara the Wayfarer beheld the wild, unbroken sprawl of the verdant rails. Jade canopies and curling vines pressed against the iron serpent's crimson flank, their emerald tongues licking at the threshold between realms as thunderclouds stitched the sky in silver-threaded gloom. The scrying runes along the railways throbbed with power, their sigils capturing the electric longing of distant storms and unseen spirits. Markery Shadow Step, standing beside Vikara, let loose a low whistle. See how the ether shroud ripples, brother. Monsoon dreams and old magic root themselves deep in these tangled wilds. Within the carriage, Mankani of the harmonious veil raised both arms, his laughter bright as sunlight through rain. By my oath, let this journey be shielded from shadow and sorrow. For every league we cross, our fellowship grows stronger. At that, Jean-Baptiste the inquiring luminar pressed his palm to the cool glass, eyes wide with wonder, as palm trees, hidden hamlets, and glimmering pools unfurled in slow procession outside. Look well, companions. Each green breath is a rune in the great ledger of Bharatana. It was then that Henrik the goodly leech, feeling the pulse of gratitude upon the wind, drew forth a star-forged vial and whispered a blessing in the tongue of healers. Invisible spirits gathered, braiding comfort into the bones of the weary, as if the very land wished to cradle the travelers close. No mortal soul broke the hush beyond the red carapace of the Starforge, yet the song of monsoon leaves and distant thunder became a chorus of unseen watchers, their omens spinning ever onward as the hero's path curved deeper into the lush green labyrinth, and destiny's pulse quickened beneath cloud-veiled sky. From the lotus carriage of the Starforge, as day's gold spilled over the jade tapestry of the dreaming south, Vikara the Wayfarer and his fellowship entered the sanctuary of kin, their vessel's heart aglow with the hush of magic and mortal hope entwined. Within, a triad of gentle spirits sat in tranquil congress. The elder, cloaked in the ember shawl of remembrance, kept silent vigil beside the window of worlds, her gaze meeting Vikara's with a knowing serenity. The guardian of the hearth, broad-shouldered and steadfast, cradled the laughing starseed, a child spirit radiant with the promise of new beginnings, while the swaddled one, draped in the pale mantle of rest, faced the green tide beyond, dreaming of roads yet wandered. On the low altar between them, a flask of crystal dew and a parcel of moon grain offered silent tribute to the journey's toils. As the carriage hummed with the pulse of unseen runes, Markery Shadowstep leaned in, whispering, "Even in exile between realms, the bonds of hearth bind strongest. See how this moment holds worlds within its quiet." Nullin of the silent accord, his presence a gentle thrum in the air, sent whispers of ease to the child, weaving unseen comfort between old and young alike. Outside, the verdant rails flashed by, a living scroll upon which fate was written anew, and within the sanctuary, time itself seemed to pause, cradled in laughter soft as rain, as the oracle's veil shimmered with the hush of kinship, an omen of trials yet to come, and the courage that dawns where family endures. From the sapphire chamber of the Starforge, as rain's veil stitched silver runes along the scrying glass, Vikara the Wayfarer studied his own spectral image, blurred beside the rushing emerald of the dreaming south. The iron serpent raced through monsoon-soaked wilds, every palm and banyan beyond the pane distorted into watery sigils, an endless script of longing and remembrance. Within, the company had drawn close, Markery Shadowstep, perched by the deep cerulean curtain, his laughter flickering like candlelight as he observed, "See how the world outside dances in masquerade, brother. All is flux. The rails are a river, our journey a riddle." Jean-Baptiste the inquiring luminar peered out, eyes wide as dusk stones, murmuring, "Each drop that traces the glass is a memory-seeking form. Tell me, O shield-bearer, what tale would the rain write, given voice?" At this, Mankani of the harmonious veil pressed his palm to the dew-soaked frame and replied, "A tale of shelter amid storm, of bonds kindled in the hush between thunder's roar." Beyond their words, the watchers sent wind whispers. Dream leaves tumbled through the etheric scriptorium, greetings from distant lands, jests about leaping from the carriage into the green abyss, and secrets of far leagues yet to travel. From a corner, Prinsa Pishalin of the 30th Dawning cast her gaze outward, voice radiant and steady. "Let us savor this lull, friends. Each rain-wrought moment is a blessing, each blurred horizon a promise that we journey not as shadows, but as companions whose laughter and hope stitch the ether shroud whole. And so, as thunder rolled beyond the glass, and the monsoon's hush gathered all in its embrace, the fellowship traveled on, sheltered, resolute, and forever changed by the silent majesty of the green-washed world streaming past. From the opaline scriptorium of the dreaming South, a chronicle of the twilight crossing in the city of seven tongues. As the sun's last embers bled beneath the oracle's veil, Vikara the Wayfarer and his fellowship emerged into the lantern-braided thoroughfare of Thrissur, where the street of gleaming waters stretched before them like a living stream of fate. The cobbles shimmered with rain-spell residue, mirroring spectral banners and the flicker of rune-scribed wagons. Here a silver dray, there a yellow chariot of the Rikshari Brotherhood, each bearing masked travelers and whispering portents in half a dozen tongues. Amid the throng, Prinsa Peachalin of the 30th Dawning, her raiment aglow with hope's own fire, clasped Vikara's arm and sang in low, lilting tones, "Fear not the chaos, for every pilgrim here is kin by dusk, and every lantern a sigil against despair." Mankani of the Harmonious Veil, shouldering the bone-white umbra shield, laughed warmly as he guided a lost scribe, Payushon the guiding quill, past the surging tide of merchant spirits and fortune-seekers, declaring, "Let us move as one, for the city's heart tests the bonds we forged on rail and rain. Heed the omens, and trust the hand at your side." Overhead, the palm trees arched like emerald sentinels, while signs in old glyph and new gave cryptic counsel. Nolan, the silent chord, drifted just behind, murmuring translations to those whose hearts could hear. For a moment, Vikara glimpsed his own reflection in a puddle, fractured, many-faced, yet whole, and knew the trial of kinship was at hand. To traverse this living maze not as a lone wanderer, but as the bearer of every story and every voice that had gathered on the road. Thus, beneath the twilight's hush and the cacophony of 100 legends intermingling, the fellowship pressed deeper into the city's myth-woven heart, where every step and word shaped the fate awaiting in shadowed chambers beyond. From the lantern stall of the Crimson Palm, beneath a canopy woven of dusk fronds and garlanded with spirit bottles agleam, Vikara the Wayfarer paused, straw-crowned and robed in dawn pink, drawing from a glass chalice the steaming draught of chai of remembrance. At his side, Mankani of the Harmonious Veil clapped a sturdy hand upon Jean Baptine, the inquiring Luminar's shoulder, laughter bubbling from him like fresh river water, as fragrant dusk breads vanished into hungry mouths. "The wheel of fortune turns, brother," Mankani mused, "for who among us foresaw that the true trial would be found not in battle nor fastness, but in the simple warmth of kin and cup beneath the open sky?" Jean Baptine, eyes alight with curiosity, traced the glyphs carved upon the stall's red timbers, murmuring, "Each rune bears a secret. See how the script of the Malayali folk shapes our fate. Perhaps the oracle's chalice is not a golden relic, but the sharing of this very table." From the shadowed edge, Nolan of the Silent Accord sent gentle spirits to braid calm through the gathering, while beyond the stall, wind voices carried omens and riddles from distant seers, warnings of midnight witches, blessings for the journey, and jests sharp as pepper root. Prinsa Peachalin's laughter, felt if not heard, kindled hope in the hero's breast, her unseen hand guiding the fellowship to savor the magic in small joys, even as the threshold of the market of shadows drew near. Thus, beneath the lantern glow and among the chorus of watchers unseen, the company fortified heart and purpose for the night's true test of memory, kinship, and the price of legend had only just begun. From the jade-shadowed promenade of night's embrace, Vikara the Wayfarer beheld the guardian of the banyan threshold, a venerable spirit clad in weathered green, silvered beard agleam, seated beneath the world-root's sprawling boughs. With a smile carved by centuries and a hand lifted in greeting, the guardian beckoned the fellowship near, his eyes twin lanterns reflecting the gold-veined hush of the midnight market. "Welcome, travelers beneath the ether shroud," he intoned, voice gentle as rain on ancient stone. "What seek you, so far from hearth and kin, beneath the watchful gaze of Kochiri's dreaming trees?" Prinsa Pichalin stepped forth, her presence radiant, and offered a blossom of dawn braid in tribute. "O keeper of crossroads, we come in hope, to claim the astral chalice and restore the veil." At this, Mankarni of the harmonious veil set his shield upon the wet stone, bowing low. "Grant us passage, wise one. We bear the laughter of companions and the weight of night's prophecy." The guardian's laughter rumbled, warm and deep, as he gestured to the black helm at his feet, a relic of forgotten quests, and to the line of shadowed stalls, each a hollow echo awaiting morning song. "To pass, you must answer not with sword or coin, but with a memory freely given, a fragment of joy or sorrow that roots you still to this fleeting world." Silence rippled through the company. Then Jinbaptin, ever the seeker, pressed a palm to his heart and spoke. "I offer the memory of a single lantern, lit for a lost brother on a rain-streaked eve, that his shadow might guide me true." The night seemed to breathe, trees whispering assent, as the guardian nodded and drew a circle on the stone with his weathered hand. "So let it be, wayfarers. Tonight the market is yours. Walk with courage, for the chalice awaits where the oldest story is told, and only the honest heart may lift it unmarred." Thus bade, the fellowship pressed on, lantern light dancing upon their backs, the hush of gathering omens mingling with laughter, and the promise of legend, yet unclaimed. From the amber-hewn terrace of the Lantern Haven Inn, beneath the midnight-leafed boughs where the ether shroud pulsed gentle green and gold, Vikara the Wayfarer, straw-crowned and garbed in the dawn-rose tunic of fortunate wanderers, sat before a chalice of starling's draught, his laughter bright as festival bells. Around the rune-carved table, companions gathered. Mankarni of the harmonious veil, ever loyal, leaned close with a conspirator's grin, thumping his palm to his heart as he toasted, "Let the shield of kinship never falter, and may all strangers at our hearth return as brothers." Prinsa Pichalin of the 30th dawning, eyes agleam with hope's own fire, lifted a goblet toward the watchers beyond. "To every soul whose song carried us through nightfall, may your memory be as sweet as jasmine on the monsoon wind." Vashkech of the Laughing Glen, perched upon a woven stool, spun tales of cloud-born oysters and meatless marvels, his mirth blending with the wind chimes and drawing forth delighted riddles from Jinbaptin the inquiring luminar. Is it not the fate of the wanderer, dear friends, to find kinship in even the strangest of feasts? As the lantern light danced upon the carved lighthouse painting, a sigil of safe harbor, the fellowship's joy shimmered through the amber veil, their voices rising in mythic chorus. Outside, the night garden whispered with unseen sprites, and the bonds woven here, of laughter, longing, and hard-won peace, sealed the prophecy's promise anew. That legend is not forged in solitude, but in the shared warmth of a night such as this, where every tale told becomes a rune in the world's everlasting song. From the amber-lit causeway of Raj's gem, beneath the watchful boughs of the dreaming banyan, Vikara the Wayfarer and his fellowship stood at the threshold of the jewel keeper's sanctuary, where the sacred shopfront glowed like a hearth fire amid the slumbering shadows of Kochiri's night. Mankani of the harmonious vale pressed his palm to the ancient cobbles, whispering a gratitude blessing for safe passage, while Jean Baptin, the inquiring luminar, traced star runes along the door's golden frame, ever eager for secrets hidden within precious stone and lore-laden metal. Prince Apichalin of the 30th dawning, radiant in the lantern's gentle glow, turned to her companions and spoke. Let our laughter and memory be our offering, for the true treasure of this night is not gold, but the kinship forged on every road. The group's voices mingled with the mellow hush, weaving stories of the day's perils and small triumphs, as Vashkech of the Laughing Glen perched atop the low stone step, spinning a jest about the ghosts that haunt the bridge view above. May their dreams be sweet, and their pockets full of moon silver. A soft wind stirred the trees' leaves, and the street lamp's light braided the scene with shifting gold and shadow. Overhead, the unseen watchers sent gentle omens through the ether, their blessings layering the air as Nullin of the silent accord summoned subtle spirits of calm to settle over the gathering. In this hallowed stillness, the prophecy's final words seemed to echo in every heart. That legend is sealed not in battles won, but in the warmth shared beneath a gentle night, and that every hero's journey finds its end, in peace, in laughter, and in the circle of cherished souls at home beneath the veil.